All right, I thought we would do a round two. So here we are again. I'm just going to set up my video here so that if I have any questions, I can see it. So what we are going to do is just carry on with what I was just doing, which was paradiddles between the bass and snare. And this doesn't want to cooperate with me here. Let me just try and figure this out. One sec. This is live. I mentioned this in my last video about how anytime you're live, anything can happen. Look at that. Here we are. Looky, looky. Okay, we got it. We're all set up here. Good. Okay. So we're working with the Carmine book tonight. I often teach out of various books. You know, one thing I got to start doing is looking at the camera while I'm talking to you. I'm looking like over here and straight ahead. And anyways, I like teaching out of books to a lot of my students. And the reason I'm doing this live stream tonight, I normally don't do nighttime live streams. It's 8:05 here in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, and we got some snow, so my students are canceling because even though we live in Canada, we're used to snow, but I got some cancellations tonight, so I thought, I'm teaching, I might as well just get on YouTube and do some live teaching to potentially, hopefully, thousands of people, or even just one person, whatever. It reminds me, YouTube sometimes, the live YouTube it does remind me of live playing because, the worst thing you want to hear at a gig is this. Now, why is that the worst thing? People are clapping. They're happy. They're happy to, hear your music. Well, the reason it's the worst thing is because it's only one person. And I've done those gigs where there's one guy, and I'm not even talking about, the bar staff and stuff. You're not including them or the people that work at the venue. I'm just talking about one guy in the crowd, and you hear that, and it's just like you look at your bandmates and you're like, why? So YouTube can be like that too. Sometimes you get lots of people tuning in, and sometimes you get one guy tuning in, and sometimes even zero. But it is what it is. Obviously, I gave very little notice for this. It's impromptu because of my cancellations, but I thought, hey, let's teach. Now, if you watched my first video, this is a part two. I just did it a half an hour ago because I had to charge the phone. I'm wearing those shoes that I mentioned in the first video. Oh, there they are. There they are. I'm not as young as I used to be, so it's hard for me to do that. I'm not as flexible, that's for sure. Anyways, I'm wearing those Puma drum shoes, or what I've turned into drum shoes, and check out the first video for a little bit of information on those shoes. They're really awesome. We're going to move on with the Carmine book. So we did page 16, and we looked at numbers 1 to 5, which was dealing with the paradiddle between the bass drum and the snare. Now, the continuation here on page 17 is we're going to eliminate the paradiddle, and we're going to do, John Bonham kind of things, as I mentioned in the first video, those paradiddle between the hands and the feet, very Bonhamish. This is Bonhamish too. So let's check out number 6. Do them slow, do them at various tempos. Here's number 6 to get the party started. Bring that tempo up a little bit. Now, as you can tell, I varied off a little bit, went into something else, no big deal. A lot of drummers do that. One of the things about these exercises on page 16 and 17, and the whole book for that matter is. It's an awesome book. I love it. I love Carmine. Met him once. Fantastic. I met him at Rick Gratton's house, but that's a whole other story. I used to study drums with Rick Gratton, famous Canadian drummer. I'm trying to remember the band that he played in. It was a famous Canadian band. High School Confidential. Forgot the name of that band. Canadian band, girl singer. If any of you know High School Confidential, type it in. Give me the name of that band. It's right on the tip of my tongue. I can picture her. I can picture Rick. I remember the video. Anyways. We got some syncopation going on here, right? So we got 1 and 2 and a 3. Hard to count it at a slow tempo and play it. That's a lot of fun to play. Number 7, very Bonham-ish, slow, and then, various tempos, like I said. What's happening is we got downbeats, all 4 of them. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The hi-hat, by the way, is playing 8th notes through all of these. From my last video, page 16, the paradiddles, and now page 17, the hi-hat is going to be playing 8th notes throughout. The bass drum is doing the E and the of the beat. About, like I mentioned, you can mix and match these grooves. So you could do something like I'm literally making it up as I go, so don't terrorize me in the comments section because I made a mistake. This is live, baby. It's live. Plus, I'm talking, teaching. Like I said before, shit happens. So, once again. Very cool. Very cool. Number 8 is the exact same thing, but we're going to take the 1 and 3 out of the snare. So it's bottom. Very cool. Lots of fun to play. Those bottomy licks, killer. Number 9, again, it's just another variation on it, right? Whoa, I just got a message here. PVD, love you. PVD, I'm not exactly sure who you are, but I love you right back. Anyone that's watching this and taking the time to give me some love, I love you right back, Very quickly, PVD's just brought something up. One thing about my channel and about music and drumming, for me, it's all about love. I teach out of love. Obviously I'm getting paid, I'm a professional, and I am getting paid, but, I can remember years ago studying martial arts with a guy by the name of Sean Stewart, 3-time world jiu-jitsu heavyweight champion, Canadian, Oakville boy. Sean telling him, known him all my life, Sean, by the way. Sean told me, if you can make money doing something you love, you're not working. You're just having fun. And he was 100% right. 100%. Oh, Opie. Opie. Oh my God. I didn't know who PVD was, but it is Opie. I'm talking, he's typing. This is awesome. Opie, man, you know, I'm not going to get into where I know Opie from, but I definitely know him from an interesting place, and we got a lot of history. Great guy. I used to have a lot of fun with this guy, and I'm glad he's here watching my video here tonight. Opie, I'm so happy to see you, man, or at least see your typing. Oh, you just saw that I had live, so you had to check in. Hey, man, it is live, and I'm glad you're here. Thank you very much. Number 9 again. So we've got 1E, 2, and 3E, 4, and 1E, 2, and 3E, 4, and like I said, pull these in and out of any groove you're playing. Pull those and put them in with any groove. That's why these things are so awesome. They're not necessarily grooves, standalone grooves. It's very unusual to hear for a whole song. That is unusual. But to throw that in, like Bonham used to do, as a filler, or you know, a bar phrase, 2-bar phrase, whatever. Fantastic, beautiful. All right, next one. Any groove, any tempo. Number 11, you know, it's funny because these, you know, I'm not going to judge Carmine, the man's a brilliant drummer, but I find the order in which these are, the paradiddle ones are quite a bit harder than these, but at the same time, these have their own standalone bottom feel, just like the paradiddle ones, and I really love them. I really love them. I've taught out of this book for so many years. I don't have the book memorized or anything, but I've taught out of this book for so many years and learned so many cool things, and I use these sometimes, you know, as I need to musically. I definitely use them. Okay, so simple at the beginning, 1 and 2, 3, 4. Oops, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2. All right, awesome. Number 12. Whoops, sorry, made a mistake. There we go. Very cool. So this one's got 1 and 2, a 3 and 3, a 1 and 2, a 3 and 3, a 1 and 2, a 3 and 3. Woo! Awesome. That's a hot one. I like that one a lot. And finally, number 13, and then, you know, anyone here has any questions or want to chat a little bit, drum chat, number 13. Whoops, a mistake again. So we got some dotted 8ths and 16ths at the beginning. So we're going leading into the snare. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, okay? 3, 1, 2, 3. Very cool, great group. Live music, the beauty about doing this though, don't get me wrong, I love my fellow musicians, but I can do whatever I want. I don't have a guitar player saying, you can't play that, it's too busy. I can do whatever I want when I'm here on my own. So, the other thing I was going to update everybody on is my drum teacher extraordinaire, Dom Famularo, has beat pancreatic cancer, which is a miracle in itself because it's basically unbeatable. That's the most, I think it's a 5% chance of survival, and Dom is cancer free. He's finishing up his last round of chemo. He's got a month of radiation. He's lost a ton of weight. I've been in contact with him and his amazing wife Charmaine. She's been updating me regularly, and Dom, I believe, posted an update saying that he's weak, he's lost a lot of weight, he's in the last part of radiation, but he's coming back strong, and he's beat it. You have no idea what that means to me. Dom Famularo, to me, if you've watched my videos, I talk a lot about, I'd like to pay respect and homage to my teachers. I'm gonna do a video actually talking about all the different drum teachers that I've had over the years. I've had Dom the longest. He's, I've been taking lessons with him for like, I don't know, 15 years. And I just posted, I couldn't believe it, looking for the DVD. I knew I had a DVD from the very first time I ever studied with Dom. Went to his place in just outside of New York, just outside of Long Island, Port Jefferson, I believe it's called. And I had a 4-hour lesson with him. That was the very first time I ever had a lesson with him, I don't know, 15 years ago, whatever it was. And anyways, I searched high and low for that DVD, and unbelievably I found it. And so I posted a few minutes, 3 different videos, I believe. I think they're 4 or 5 minutes each, 6 minutes each, of the very first time that I studied with Dom. And I took a ton of lessons with him, and he's done so much for me. It's just unbelievable what he's done for my career as a drummer and a drum teacher, and endorsements, etc., etc. So I just want to let everyone know Dom is doing well. He's coming back. He's going to put some weight on to get stronger. And yes, Opie, that's fantastic. Yep, it is fantastic. And you're fantastic too. Hey, I also want to thank Andrew Rooney, who I mentioned in my last video, but I didn't mention, if you're unfamiliar with him, he's another drummer, drum teacher, reactor, does everything I do in New Zealand. Andrew has agreed for me to interview him, and we're going to set that up, and we're going to do a Zoom interview. And I also want to thank someone else, Steve, jump drummer, who I also mentioned in my last video. Steve has really hipped me to the whole copyright thing, and I remember he was interviewing Andrew Rooney, and he was talking about me, coincidentally saying about how, oh, those soft Canadians, those darn Canadians, not being tough. You've got to take an American approach and dispute those copyright complaints, dispute them. And so I took his advice, and the one copyright claim that I disputed, I lost. But It's okay. I did lose my dispute, but I'm still going to dispute anything in the future that I feel needs disputing. So for example, I'm going to be posting some recordings that I played on in a video, and studio recordings. I've gotten permission from the copyright owners and the songwriters. Obviously I know them, I played on their records, and I've gotten permission from them, but I know I'll still get a copyright claim, and I'm going to have to dispute that because I've got permission, plus I'm the drummer on the tracks, for God's sake. But the bot doesn't know that. The bot doesn't know. So, because it's always bots that find these copyrights, and then they post them, and then it's up to you to dispute them or not, and I'm going to. So I got to thank Steve for, you know, making me man up and not be afraid of YouTube. Now, I have to say though, I mistakenly watched the video where a guy said, if you dispute YouTube copyright claims and you lose, which I just did, your channel could get shut down. Well, this is not true. You can dispute, and they decide if they want to keep the claim, forget about the claim, and then you can make the money off of the video, and the copyright claim is lifted, or they can decide to maybe split it with you 50-50, which happened to Steve. In my case, Athena Records / Tool, the band Tool, upheld their copyright claim because my video's doing well and they're making money off of it. They monetized it for themselves based on their copyright claim. I get it. It was a reaction video. I did dispute it under fair use, but it was rejected. Anyways, I know that in the future, you know, your copyright, if you're going to dispute it, you've got to have reason to dispute it. You can't just dispute it because you want to, you know, cause havoc or whatever. I have definitely believed that if I'm going to dispute something, I got grounds for the dispute, you know. So, are those in your channel? I'll have a look. I do have, I'm not exactly sure specifically what you're talking about. Are those in your channel? Are you talking about the videos? Well, obviously videos, but I type back and let me know which video specifically or what I was talking about, because I was talking and I wasn't really looking at this. Oh, the DVD clip. Oh, yes, sorry. The Dom Famulero DVD clips of lessons. Yes, there's 3 of them on my channel. Yes, you can watch a young Timothy being schooled in the art of drumming from a master, and I went on to become Dom's one of his top drum students, and I'm not just saying that to toot my horn or whatever. He's told me this over and over again, that I'm one of his best students because I really, really dug into what he was teaching and what Freddie Gruber teaches and what Joe Morello teaches. And you listen, Dom Famulero studied with Buddy Rich. You don't argue with the guy that studied with Buddy Rich. I mean, it is what it is. So, anyways, that is the summation of my first video with the paradiddles between the hands and the feet, and the second video, which is the more broken 16ths and snare drums, mainly on the downbeats, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 3, 2 and 4, etc. Hi-hat playing 8th notes. Channel page 16, 17 of the Carmine book. Awesome book. I'll show you this particular edition that I have. Is the 35th anniversary special. If you can see on this page, there's other covers that Carmine has used. I think I've had them all, but somebody bought this for me actually, which was really nice. From a drum school I used to teach at, or a music school, the owner bought this for me as a gift for Christmas. Very nice. So check this book out. I am not being paid by the book company or Carmine. I'm just showing you stuff that I use in my teaching, and it's fun to play. So, okay, I'm answering some questions here. Hope he's got a lot of questions. I'm glad you're going to check them out. Yep, they were like 15 years ago. The exact date is listed on the video, I believe, or maybe not 15 years ago. I think they were 2008. Is that 15 years ago? 14 years ago. Pretty close, whatever. So the videos are not that long. I mean, like I said, the DVD is 4 hours long. I just took snippets out of it of the most important stuff that I thought that people who, not just myself, obviously, because I was there in person with them, but in these videos, drummers can watch Dom teaching and a master teaching, and you know, what a fantastic drum teacher he is, and I've been so thrilled to study with him. And you know, I've been playing drums, like I've said many times, for a long time, 50 years. I still take lessons. It doesn't end. You know, you don't stop learning just because you're 57, 60 years old, whatever, and suddenly you think you know it all. It doesn't work like that. You know, you want to keep studying. You want to keep learning. And that's why I'm doing this right now. I'm hoping that people can learn from what I'm teaching here. And yes, it's Tim in prime time. 2008, I was in my prime. Yeah. I'm a better drummer now. I wasn't in my prime drumming then. I think I'm a much better drummer now because I learned all those things that Dom showed me, but that's all for another day. Anyways, thank you, Opie, for all the comments and the questions, and thank you for tuning in. And as I always say at the end of my videos, keep drumming. See ya. And see you later, Opie. Take care. Hope you're doing good. Bye-bye.